Good morning, everybody. This is Irene with Stampin' Addicts. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm going to show you how to make this awesome luminary out of vellum. We all have these vases hanging out. We get them with our flowers, and most of the time you don't know what to do with them. Half the time you donate them. Well, I decided to take mine and make them into luminaries that I can put outside on my patio. So the first thing I did is I found some paper. Our DSP is just gorgeous. This is Poppy Parade. I hope you can see this. Alright, let me move some things. Poppy Parade is one of our DSPs right now, and I believe you can still order it. So let me flip you through some of the pages. I mean, it's really pretty paper, so there's lots of ideas. I was going to use this sheet, but I ended up changing my mind, and I used this page. Is what I did is I took a picture of it. Then I went, and that's this one right here. Then I went and put, I have the Canon picture app on my phone. So I went to my app. First I took a picture of the paper, and I went to my app and I sent it to my printer. But before I did that, I put some vellum in there, and I printed it off on the vellum. So when you print off on vellum, sometimes you have to enlarge on your Canon, which I always do because I want it to be bigger. So I enlarged it to fit on this, because when you take your pictures, it normally puts a border around it, or it doesn't center it, or whatever. So they're all different. But when I took a picture of it, I enlarged the paper. So I enlarged the screen to fit a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So that's where the vellum comes in. It's the same size as a regular piece of paper. Then I printed it off, and after I printed it, I let it sit. And I let it dry. Because if you don't let it dry, you will smudge it. Vellum is a very soft surface, and it needs to dry. Otherwise, you will have one painted mess. So the one I'm going to show you is this one. This one is the sheet I took a picture of. And we're going to do that one will be my next one, because I want different ones for my patio. So I'm going to have several different ones. So this is the next one I did. I took a picture of this. And this is what it looks like after you print it and enlarge it on your vellum. So here's my 8.5 by 11 vellum. I really want to put some white paper under it so you can see it better. There's some white cardstock. Hopefully you'll be able to see it better. So I enlarged it because I want to use this bottom part of it. So my canister here, my flower canister, is basically an 8.5 by 11 round. Or it's actually not 8.5, it's 7 1/4. So I took one of my 8.5 by 11 strips of scrap paper, because I always have strips, and I actually just wrapped it around it to see how big of a sheet I was going to need. And this is just a little under 11. So it's probably 10 3/4. So I'm going to make sure that I want it to be 11, because I really like that overlap, and I'll show you why, because that's how we'll attach it on our canister here. Right now I have it so it'll come right off, so in case you want to change it, you can change it. And I have these little I love twinkle lights, so I have these little, they go into wine bottles toppers, so I have these in it. You can also get these tea lights, and put tea lights in it. You get them in a pack of 5, pack of 6. So it's whatever you prefer. And I mean, you can change them all the time. Just make different ones, rotate them for the seasons. And right now, I feel it's spring. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use tear tape to attach it, but I need to cut it down first. And I know that since I took my 11-inch piece of paper and wrapped it around, I know it's 11 inches. Because I want that 4th to hang out. Because I need it for the tape. So first thing I'm going to do is I did 2 pieces. Depends on you, what you prefer. I really like this look, and I want it to go around the canister, so I did it as a portrait instead of landscape. So it's completely up to you, because you could literally take a landscape and print it on vellum, and it will wrap completely around, depending on if your printer does borders or not. I cannot seem to get my printer not to do a border when I'm printing off my phone, but when I print it off my computer, I can get it not to do a border. So I'm still working on that. So I did 2 of them, but you technically can use 1 because it wraps all the way around it. So I did measure the length of this, and it is 7 inches. Actually, it's 7 1/4. So first I am going to cut my paper down, my vellum technically. I'm going to cut all my edges off because I need 7 1/4 by 11. So here's my 7 1/4. And if you feel, sometimes the bottoms can get really dark. It just depends on what you want. But I want to see how this works with the darker bottoms. So I'm going to do 7 1/4 because that is the from top to bottom of my canister. And the circumference is 11 inches, and that's what I want to use, is 11 inches, because I like the overlap of 1/4 of an inch. So here's one. Now here's my second one, and you have to remember, when you print on vellum, you need to let it dry. You will smear it. It is guaranteed to happen. You pick it up, you handle it nicely, and you move it to an area so it can dry. So my second piece I'm going to cut down the same way. We're not stamping today, but we are using some beautiful paper. You can take a picture of anything, any paper, and print it on vellum. I know a lot of people have all these pretty vellums they use. Well, if you have an awesome printer, you can do anything with it. Alright, so I'm doing this at 7 1/4. Alright, so now I'm going to attach these together with my tear tape. So I'm going to put one on top of the other, and I want the width of the tear tape to be on the back of it. And we know a lot of these flower canisters, they vary. They start, they're wider at the bottom and then narrower at the top. So I'm making an adjustment for that, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So your tear tape, make sure you press it down. You do get a line, which is this, but you know what? It's okay. it still looks pretty darn awesome. We all like to position things certain ways anyway. So I am attaching. Alright, so now I have my complete wraparound. But we know this is only 11, so I'm going to make sure I cut it down to 11. So now I will do that part. Isn't that cool? That's going to be really pretty with those lights in it. Okay, so now we'll do the 11. Okay. So there's my piece. Alright, so I am putting some more tear tape on. I want one to be on the inside of this, and I want one to be on the outside. So I want one on top and then one on the inside. Because we have to make up for the container being a different circumference at the top. Because from the top to the bottom, they have a different circumference. All of them may not be that way, but this one is that way. It's different from top to bottom. It is not perfect. I love tear tape. You can use it for so many things. And I'm pressing it in because I don't want it, when I tear it up, I don't want it to come right back off. And we'll snip this little piece off. Alright. So I'm literally just wrapping it around it. Oh wow. You know, I told you, they're all different. This one is different than that one. It's off just a hair. Huh. That is so odd. And they look like the exact same canister. Well, I guess I don't need them both. That is so odd. My first one wasn't that way at all. It's off. If you can see that, that is completely off. And it's exact same length and width. So this canister is different. So just plan ahead, because they are all different. I was expecting this one to be the same. Guess what? It's not. So I'm going to wrap this and let this piece sit on the bottom, and I'll have this one sit on the top. Actually, that's not going to work. They're going to have to attach to each other. Oh well, it'll still work out. Alright, so let's roll this around. That's awesome. They are all not the same. Just comes to prove it, because that piece of vellum is exactly the same size as this one. That is so nuts. Alright, I'm just trying to tuck them in. There we go. This one I'd probably make just a little bit longer so there's no seam. And of course I didn't remove the other tape, but I wanted you to see how close this is. That this one, it's crazy. This, I measured the exact same as this one, and they are both different on, because you can see where I put the line at here. That's when I first taped it down, and then I did a second one, and they're the exact same. So containers are different. So let's see what this looks like with all this light in it. Let me shut this light off. And there it is. How cool. So I'm making these for my deck. We just had our deck redone, so I was making some luminaries for them. I figured I'd show you how I was doing it. To be able to take a picture of anything, literally. You could take a picture of wallpaper and print it on vellum and put it on here, which is awesome. And here's one of the tea lights. So you can see what the tea light looks like. Super cute. Great ways to use your beautiful paper if you don't want to cut it. We know we have a lot of paper hoarders. They love their DSP and they do not want to cut it. So here's a great idea for you. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay crafty. Keep crafting. There's so many things to do, and here's one. So I hope you enjoy. Share, like, subscribe, pass the idea on to somebody else, because we need something to do to keep us busy. So thanks again for watching. You guys have an awesome day, and stay safe, and happy crafting. Thank you so much.